Okay, let's be real. The world of AI is moving so fast it's basically a blur. You blink, and you feel like you've missed the next massive breakthrough. So, in this explainer, we're going to hit pause for a second and break down the really critical developments you need to understand right now.
And look, this isn't just about some new feature from one company. Just this week, the entire landscape has shifted in some pretty major ways. We're going to connect the dots for you, from absolutely massive new funding rounds to tools that are going to change how we all work and live.
That's why you got to stop thinking of this as just one single race. The best way to see it really is as a war, one that's being fought on multiple fronts, all at the same time. And if you can understand these fronts, well, that's the key to understanding where all of this is actually headed.
All right, so let's step onto the battlefield, shall we? We're going to examine the 4 key fronts where this AI race is being won and lost, and we'll see who's making the biggest moves this week.
So we're going to break this down into 4 key areas. First, the battle for capital. Then, the push to get AI into actual consumer devices you can hold. After that, we'll look at the incredible breakthroughs on the research front, and finally, the wild tooling arms race on the developer front. So, let's start with where the money is.
All right, first up, the capital front. This is the fuel for the entire AI engine, and the numbers we're seeing are just staggering. A new heavyweight just threw its hat in the ring with a valuation that is just mind-boggling.
Just take a look at this number. $230 billion. That's billion with a B. That is the brand new valuation of Elon Musk's AI startup, xAI, after its latest round of funding.
Now, $230 billion is obviously a massive number on its own, but what really matters is the context, right? While it's still behind the absolute giants like Anthropic and OpenAI, this new valuation catapults xAI right into that same elite club. It just goes to show how aggressively they are scaling to compete at the very, very top.
So you might be asking, how in the world did they get there? Well, it was a massive $20 billion funding round. But the money is only one piece of the puzzle. Their real ace in the hole is the strategy, to build this powerful ecosystem by deeply weaving their AI, like the upcoming Grok 5, right into X, Tesla, and even the Optimus robot.
Okay, so from the wild world of high finance, let's pivot to the consumer front and see how all this stuff actually builds into something you can touch and feel. This is where AI moves out of the data center and, well, onto your desk.
And believe it or not, we are already seeing this happen in some pretty wild ways. The gaming tech company Razer just showed off something called Project AVA, and it perfectly illustrates this push to give AI a physical body, in this case as a little holographic buddy for your desk.
So what is it? Well, it's this little animated avatar inside a glowing cylinder. And get this, guess what's powering its brain? Yep, xAI's Grok. It's got a camera and microphones built right in, so it can watch your screen and listen to you talk, giving you real-time coaching for your games or even helping you with work. It's this fascinating and maybe a little ironic attempt to bring an AI companion into the gaming world, which, as we know, has been a community that's been famously skeptical of AI.
Okay, so we've talked money, we've talked gadgets, but now let's shift gears to something with truly profound, life-altering potential. Welcome to the research front, where AI is being used to literally predict the future of our health.
I want to pose a question to you. One that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but it's something researchers at Stanford are now actually able to answer. What if all the secrets to your long-term health were hidden inside just one single night of sleep?
What they've built is a model called SleepFM. It's a foundation model, and it does exactly that. It can analyze data from just one single night of sleep to predict over 130 different health conditions down the road.
And the results? They are absolutely stunning. Just look at these accuracy numbers. It can predict Parkinson's with 89% accuracy, dementia at 85%, and even a person's general risk of death with 84% accuracy. This is a huge, huge leap forward for predictive medicine.
So how does this even work? It sounds like magic, right? Well, it was trained on this enormous data set. We're talking 600,000 hours of sleep recordings, and it basically learned to spot these tiny moments when the body's signals fall out of sync, like say your brain is in deep sleep but your heart is racing. It flags those moments as early warning signs for diseases that might show up years later.
And that brings us to our final front. This is where things get really fast and furious, the developer front. Think of it as a high-speed arms race to create the tools that will build the next wave of AI applications. And man, things are moving incredibly fast here.
I mean, just to give you a taste of how fast things are moving, check out this workflow that is now a real thing you can do. You can literally take a screen recording of an interface you like, feed that video to an AI like Gemini 3 Pro, and have it spit out a fully interactive landing page. The time from just an idea to a real product is collapsing down to just a few minutes.
And the new tools themselves are dropping just as fast. We're going to do a few quick hits here. For example, Liquid AI just released models that are specifically designed to run on-device. That means faster, more private AI that runs on your phone or your laptop, not somewhere in the cloud.
Next up, in the world of video, Lightricks just dropped LTX-2. This is a new open-source model that can generate high-res 4K video with audio that's perfectly synced up, basically giving professional-grade creative power to literally everyone.
And of course, Amazon's not going to be left out of the party. They're finally moving their AI beyond just your smart speakers. By bringing the full Alexa experience to the web, they're making their assistant accessible everywhere, competing directly with all the other chatbots on your desktop.
You know, all of this really brings to mind a quote from Anthropic's Daniela Amode that just perfectly captures this moment. She said, "The exponential continues until it doesn't, and every year it has." It just speaks to this relentless, seemingly unstoppable acceleration we're all feeling across the board.
And really, that's what it all boils down to, right? So I'll leave you with this. With this crazy race accelerating on every single front, capital, consumer, research, and developers, where do you think the next truly world-changing breakthrough is going to come from? It's something we're all going to be watching very closely. Thanks for joining us for this Explainer.